Hi everybody. Today's going to be our last lesson for our evolution unit. And in today's lesson we have two topics to talk about. We have genetic drift and genetic equilibrium. Let's start with genetic drift. Genetic drift is a random change in allele frequencies of a small population that's due to chance. So here you have a change in allele frequencies, but it's not evolution because this change does not increase the overall fitness of the population. So let me give you an example here. Let's say that in this diagram it shows a population of beetles. Right? And we have blue beetles, we have yellow beetles, we have pink, and we have green. Now, in this original population we have equal amounts, right, of each different color allele. Right? The blue, the yellow, the pink, and the green. Right? There's 10 of each. And then there's some type of chance event in this environment of these beetles. So let's say there's a fire. Alright, and here are the survivors of this fire. You have 5 of the blue beetles surviving, 0 of the yellow, 2 pink, and 3 green. Right? Now, these numbers that survived was just by chance. It's not like the yellow beetles were more flammable than any other color, and that's why they died out. They were just a little bit unlucky. Right? So then, on the other side of this chance event, this forest fire, the new population shows that we have more blue beetles than anything else, right? Now, it might look like this is evolution, right? But really, the blue beetles have no real advantage. It was just dumb chance that they survived and were able to repopulate more than the other color beetles. Right? This particular type of genetic drift is called the bottleneck effect. You take a population and you squeeze it through a thin bottleneck so only a few members survive, and then when they repopulate, the allele frequencies are different than what you started out with over here on the other side. Right? So again, genetic drift is this random change in allele frequency that really has no effect on the overall fitness of the population. The last topic for this unit is genetic equilibrium. And genetic equilibrium is just the opposite of evolution. Right? Evolution is when you have this change in allele frequencies. But genetic equilibrium is when the allele frequency remains constant, generation after generation. Right? The population is not evolving, and everything is staying exactly the same. Now, a pair of scientists, Hardy and Weinberg, they kind of hypothesized or theorized, right, what conditions need to be met in order to stop evolution. So in order to stop evolution, they said that you have to meet all 5 of these conditions. Number 1 is that there has to be random mating. So every member of a population has to have an equal chance of finding a mate and passing on their genes to the next generation. You have to have a large population. That's to avoid genetic drift, which we just talked about. You can't have any migration. So no movement into a population and no movement out of a population. Right? So when you have migration, that's called gene flow, right? And it's a way to introduce new genes to an area or to a gene pool. So we have to stop that. Right? We can't have any mutations again. Mutations are a way to introduce new alleles or create new alleles, right? We need to stop that. And then finally, we can't have any natural selection. So every member of a population has to have the same chance of surviving. Now, this is just kind of like a hypothesis because you can't really control all 5 of these events in a natural environment. They're very difficult to control in a lab setting as well. Right? The point is that the populations are almost always evolving constantly because we can't meet all 5 of these conditions forever. Alright guys, that's it for today's lesson. Thank you.